One of the darkest things I had to face was dealing with my autoimmune disease, actually facing death. And now a lot of people be like, oh, I can see that because death is scary. I don't give a fuck about dying. I'm not afraid of death at all. It sounds peaceful. Get me out of here. Welcome to Fortune and Romance with your host, Taylor Fortune and
B.A. Shay. Good in you.
Today on the podcast, we have Missy McCall from Missy's Astrology. How are you doing today, Missy?
Good. How are you guys?
Awesome.
Welcome to the full moon, baby.
I know, right? Full moon in Pisces. And when did the witches in Salem become such narcs, you know? Aren't they supposed to be the renegades and the badasses and the ones who conform to nobody's rules?
Nope.
Come on, guys.
It's the complete opposite, Taylor. I was disgusted with what I saw today.
It's sad what this world has become. Back to Missy then. Okay, so here's how we're going to start this off, Missy. I want you to tell us one of your deepest, darkest secrets, all right?
Oh, God.
And we will match you too if you want us to, but we got to kick this off with a bang here. We're not doing some vanilla shit in this interview.
That's tough.
Yeah, you're on the
There's
spot.
so many. We're Scorpios.
I know.
Scorpios. There's so many.
I'm so transparent. I mean,
yeah, us too.
I don't know a deep, dark secret that I have.
Well, tell us just one of your stories that make you who you are.
It's so hard off the rip.
Off the rip,
yeah,
baby.
I don't know, making me who I am.
How did you start off in astrology?
I was like a mean girl.
Go on.
And then I fell out of a window and I totally had an awakening. And I think I, came back as a totally different person because I feel completely different who I was before because I'm no longer the mean girl. I don't feel like a Scorpio anymore. I'm totally not I don't feel scorpionic. I'm always a Libra trying to balance everything out, make everyone happy. Yeah. But I was paralyzed from the waist down and that's how I got into astrology. I wanted to see how, when I was 16 years old, why was all this bad stuff happening to me? And I saw it all written in the stars, every aspect of it. So that's how I got started.
Wow.
Oh that's actually a really good story. It's traumatic, but it made you this amazing person that you are today.
Yeah. And it humbled me because I was the mean girl. I would even tell girls don't sit next to me, you stink, or you look ugly today. I was completely the mean girl. And then I was in a wheelchair and went to school and a walker, and all the girls I was mean to, they were mean to me. And then all my friends disowned me because they're okay, you're not cool anymore. And so I had no friends, and I used to sit in a bathroom stall and just cry and just why is this my life? How did it get here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so traumatic. Oh my gosh.
What did you see in this?
That.
Missy, what did you see?
That's my legitimate sad face. I feel your pain type of thing. I've been a lot of shit in my life. That's sad. Oh my God.
Yeah. What were you saying, Taylor?
What did you see in astrology that foretold of either your window experience or this trauma that you endured in your life?
Yeah, so Pluto, which is about death, transformation, and rebirth, was conjunct my solar arc vertex, exactly. And a solar arc vertex is basically a chart and it ticks every degree every year. And so my vertex hit my Pluto, and that's when I fell out the window. And then Uranus at the time just transitioned to a new sign. So showing an unexpected event was to come into my life. And so the unexpected event was going to change my life, and it's going to totally have this transformation and rebirth. And I did.
Wow.
So yeah. For a lot of people out there who may not know what that means, the vertex is our divine gateway asteroid.
Mm-hmm.
And with Pluto conjunct your divine gateway, that means some huge death or rebirth experience is going to happen to you and basically kickstart your spiritual awakening process.
Exactly.
Did it do it on the, how long was this conjunction before your fall, or how did it relate to your fall?
Well, so what ended up happening was when the fall happened, Uranus changed signs, my solar arc Uranus changed signs. Well, that day, Mars hit the solar arc Uranus, and then, my solar arc vertex was already being hit by my natal Pluto. So it was just kind of like the stars kind of all went off at the same time. And then my moon transited over an eclipse section of my chart. And so like, it was just, eclipse activation, which is really crazy. So that's why I got into astrology, was I was like trying to figure out why all this shit was happening to me.
Yep.
And it's all written in stars.
So true. It's true. Everything is in the stars. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What kind of spiritual beliefs did you have before that before you started messing around with astrology or getting into it seriously?
Well, I was going to school. So I was going to Catholic school at the time, and I don't know if you guys ever know about Catholic school, but there's like a priest, and the priest kind of like, you go see him when you sinned, and they tell you, say 10 Hail Marys or 5 Our Father, or do whatever you need to do to pray to, like, it's for your sins to go away. And then, you have to sit up and stand up and sit up and stand up in church. Like, it's one of those things. Like, it was just exhausting. But it's like, I went there more for the education than really for like God per se. You know what I mean? Like, that's why my parents put me in private Catholic school.
I grew up Catholic as well. So I think, Taylor, we talked about this. Was it in the last podcast that we did? We were talking about growing up in the Catholic Church. I think that was one of the topics that we had, if I'm not mistaken. But I grew up in a very similar environment where I went to Catholic school, went to the CCD, and then I went to these weekend retreats and a lot of weird shit I saw. And I look back and I'm like, wow, that's not normal, certain stuff like that. So I found my own religion, which was spirituality, and I believe in God no matter what, but I always thought there was something else, and like, these things are happening for a reason, and then that's when I got into astrology. It was certain bad things happened to me, and I just was like, well, there's got to be a reason why there's certain things happening to me, and then it made sense because everything aligned.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And the Bible is a great book of like teaching and stories. They have great stories, but as far as like the doctrine of the religion that man has made it's just so man-made, like the Matrix. You know what I mean? It's like, you've got this, and it's like, but it's like, if you look at the natural divine order of things, it's like nothing is perfect in this earth. Nothing. Not a bird, not a bee, not anything in this world like looks alike, and so to say that everyone fits in this perfect box is not true. Even if you look at astrology, like, it's not true. I tell people when they have Lilith and Uranus, I was like, oh, you kind of like some bondage, don't you? Or maybe like you like some swinger activity, and they're like, yeah, I do.
I love that.
Yeah, you just like, you can always see where people are at in their chart, And it's good, because then you're not like making them conform to the world. You're saying like, hey, this is you, and it's cool, and it's okay, Yeah.
It's okay. You can like bondage and everything else. It's okay.
What are some of the wild things that are in your own private chart, Missy?
Well, I got, Sun and Venus conjunct Cupido, so I like to like point my little arrow and shoot it at everybody, and hopefully like they fall in love with me, and then I walk away.
I feel like I have that too.
Oh, I bet you do. I bet both of you do.
Oh my God.
We need to compare charts.
And then I have like Mars conjunct Lilith, which is like bad, because in every guy, and I have it conjunct my Neptune. So when you have Mars conjunct Neptune alone, is like people view as just like this sexual object, right? And then you add Lilith into the mix, then you're like this fucking sexual goddess. So guys just always want to fuck you like all the time. It's just, And I was like, no matter what I wear, it's not gonna matter. Put a bag over my head, a bag over my body, like.
Yeah, you exude sex. It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Lilith does. She exudes sex.
I like her.
Yeah.
She's the bad bitch that we all want to be.
Yeah, she's way hotter than Eve, though.
What'd you say?
I said she was way hotter than Eve. Eve is your basic vanilla bitch, man. Lilith knows how to get it done. Like, she's the dominant.
Vanilla, yeah. Lilith was the first bitch, and then Adam said, you know what, you're too much of a bitch, and so I want Eve. And so then he like took his rib and he made Eve.
What a pussy. I don't get it. Like, I don't know what Adam's problem was. Like, that's a woman right there, Lilith.
Because she wanted to dominate him and be on top, and he was like, "I want to be on top."
I know, but that makes him a total bitch. Like,
right? He didn't want to be ridden. He wanted her to ride her. He wanted to be on top.
Right. No, I get it. It's not really divine masculine energy, Adam. Come on, you're like afraid of a woman. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I can't. I have so many things I could say right now. I'm just gonna shut my mouth.
No. You're gonna say them. What do you got?
I can't. I literally can't. I'll get sued. I can't.
Can you like do it around the edges or like?
Yeah,
no, I can't because it involves all three of us, so I can't.
Oh, well now we have to hear it.
I can't. I literally can't talk about it right now on live. I can't. I already know I'll get a call from a lawyer. I can't.
You like transmitted it in my mind. I already know what you're gonna say.
Taylor. All I'm gonna say is Simba.
Oh God.
How could you not get that, Taylor?
I don't know how to say that without saying it because I can't.
Circle of life.
Yeah, exactly. The Rar King.
Oh my God.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on. Okay, Missy, professional astrologer.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Very good encrypted.
My dog's barking now. My dog hears me.
Yeah, encrypted language there. Okay, Missy, so professional astrologer, how has that affected you through your relationships in your life? Have you been with a lot of guys who are very supportive of you having a career?
Hell no.
Spirituality? Yeah.
Hell no. Like my ex-husband thought I was like looking at porn every time I looked at astrology. It was like that bad. I'm like, I'm not like masturbating to it or anything. Like I'm just looking at it like
What was his problem with it? I mean, to us, astrology seems pretty straightforward and pretty clean, but what was his issue with it?
Because he felt like it was dictating my life. And I was like, no, it's just a tool. It's not like a freaking dildo. Like I can still have sex.
Yeah. Like he was afraid that you would base...
Get the analogy. Like...
Was he afraid that you would base your decisions solely on whatever the transits say or whatever the things, and like the chart would dictate your relationship?
Yeah, kind of like if the chart said I needed to break up with him, then I would break up with him. If the chart said I was gonna have a bad day, I would have a bad day. So he's like, it predicts your life, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. Not at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Never married you because we have Mars conjunct Saturn. That means we have no sex life. Well, we really didn't, but.
So it was accurate.
So it was accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, like it went from like, null and void, like no sex life. And I was like, maybe we just will have a really good sex life because we had a good sex life in the beginning, But I am Scorpio and I got a lot of Lilith in me, so like sex is huge.
Yeah.
And, and I got a lot of stuff in the 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio. But he's got Mars and Virgo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Virgo is no bueno. There's no sexual aspects with Earth.
Right.
I don't like that at all. That's a terrible problem.
It's like in the 11th house, like in an air sign. It's not even like the house sign's even good either, with his sexual planet.
Well, tell people out there what Mars and Virgo would mean sexually, or just what it means in general.
So Mars and Virgo basically means you're a service to others and that you like to eat healthy, eat clean diet, but he wasn't very clean, but it's mainly like you like to help others, Right. So he's a great cook. He cooked all the time,
cool.
But that was basically as far as his Mars went.
That doesn't work well for Scorpios at all. Nope.
No.
What?
No, and my Mars is in my 8th house too, so that's ruled by Scorpio, so that doesn't work well either.
I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, Missy, we were on the phone, I think, for like 4 hours the first time we talked. I really think it was the longest conversation I've ever had with somebody I never met before, because I related to you in so many ways.
Right.
And I want to say, you were like reading my chart or something, and you said that we had similar everything.
Oh yeah, Moon is in Aries, like mine, that type of thing.
Yeah, we had a lot in common. It was crazy.
And then your Venus, I think, is in Scorpio. My
Ooh.
Venus is Scorpio.
Right?
Ooh.
I think Mars where's your Mars? In Scorpio?
I think my Mars is in Scorpio. Yeah.
Yeah, and so my Mars is in my 8th house, which is Scorpio.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of Scorpio going on here.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. What is the best Mars or Venus placement, depending on if it's male or female, for sexual connection?
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Or fire sign too, like Leo or Aries.
Mm-hmm.
Mars likes to be in its home sign of Aries. Like, it's ruled by Aries,
Yeah.
I fucking love Leos. I fucking love them.
Well, if you think about it, Mars is sex, right? Leo's ruled by the sun. And so whatever the sun hits, it's illuminating. And so it's illuminating that sex drive,
Yeah.
My perfect match is Leo. End of story. And nothing else to say. End of story. Leo is my life partner. End of story. I will not be with any other sign.
Have you been before?
Huh?
Have you dated a Leo before?
I did, and it's funny because I said I would never date another Leo again, and then I did, and I'm like, okay, it's the sex, I can't get over it. It's Scorpio and Leo together are just insane. There's nothing else I can say about it.
Let me look at your chart, because I feel like Leos for Scorpios are they're not deep enough.
Well, here's
How deep
is your love?
This is what I've found my favorite connection to be. This is why I like Scorpios, and this is also why I like other water signs. So I like to date, I'm a fire sun, a water moon. So I find my best combinations are water sun, fire moon, because I feel like that's a perfect yin yang combination. Both of you happen to be water signs, fire moons. I think that's why our friendship is so good, why we get along so well. Every girl I get along with on this kind of a level always has a water sun and a fire moon, because it fits together like puzzle pieces for me.
Well, actually, Taylor, your moons and suns get along the best, okay?
Yeah.
So actually, that's why we get along so well, because our ego drives your emotion, and your emotion helps our ego. So we feed each other, and that's why. Even with us, actually, Beth Ann, the perfect mate for you is actually an Aries.
I know.
Because your freaking Mars is in actually Aquarius, but it's in the 1st house, which is ruled by Mars. Your North Node is in Aries. Your Moon is in Aries. So a guy that has a Sun Aries, it would be the best for you. Leo for you is your fucking Virgo house. That's
no.
Can clean and service you. Maybe that's why he services your pipe so well or something.
Yeah, he fucking does. But
that's your Virgo house though, and it's also your partner. It's half partnership house, half not. But even Taylor's sun falls in your 6th house of service. Acts of service.
Aww.
Will someone fucking service me, please?
Well,
I've been serving forever. I need a tune-up.
We can't. Yeah, you need to. We can't service you all the way over in fucking Boston, Mass. Yo, you got to come to LA.
I'm coming to LA, my dude. I told you.
Coming.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I'm coming.
All over there.
Okay, well, look, Missy. Now we're
over here at the end.
So now we're getting into the power of what
the ocean. It's so wet. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm
apologize. I love it. You're literally me.
So
all
right, one sec here. I'm trying to plug your business a little bit here, because I'm really impressed with these synastry matches and just these natal chart readings for who our ideal partner is. So obviously a lot of people come to you and ask about that. They want to find out if they're a good match, either with both the person they're with or the person they want to be with. So what's kind of the magical process behind that? I know you're doing ours a little bit, but can you kind of walk people through what you're looking for and what you're doing?
Well, it depends what they're asking me for. If it's for like a twin flame relationship, then I look for like the twin flame aspects in a chart. If it's for like a soulmate aspect,
Wait.
like,
No, hold on right there. What are the twin flame aspects in the chart? We got to know this stuff. People out there, that's
Right.
like the $1 million question right now.
tell me, Missy, tell me more.
Yeah.
What is this? It's Lilith, of course, you know, and a lot of people that have Lilith in charts like me, it's like they attract Lilith people to their lives because we have to work out in our natal chart what is like practically happening to us. And that's just what we do as humans, is there's lessons we have to learn in our own life. So we call those lessons into our life. So we call Lilith energy into our life. So we have to work that out. And so a lot of times this energy is what I call twin flame energy, but it's also can be toxic, where it gets like, oh my God, he just gaslighted me, or he didn't like me. I'll give you an example. This is a great example of a twin flame, toxic twin flame. I was talking to this girl today, and she's dating a married man. It's a typical twin flame thing. And he has a crap ton of money, and she's basically working for him, right? So he pays her bills and everything like that. So she reached out to me and she's like, Missy, I just broke up with him. I said, fuck you. Like, what am I going to do? He pays for all my bills and blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, twin flames usually come together because they mirror something, right? So he's mirroring that he want to leave his relationship, and then she's mirroring that she can't leave her job because she's scared of the financial situation. So they like mirror each other. You know what I mean? And so basically, like, that's what's happening. And I said, but because she's like, he needs to break free from his relationship. And I was like, what about you? Like, you're living in that toxic environment as well as being like stuck to this person, you know, that basically your boss.
Yeah. What did you see? Did you see anything in their synastry chart that reflected that they were twin flames?
Oh, yeah. They had Venus conjunct Lilith. She had Venus opposite of Lilith of his. So his Venus was opposite of her Lilith, and then his Lilith was opposite of her moon. And then they had it in their composite chart together with Venus conjunct Lilith. So they were just like all messed up. All obsessed with each other. And that's what Lilith kind of does, is she comes in and she breaks what Adam created, which is the matrix, right? The matrix belief system that money is going to buy you love. And she comes in and says, no, here's the ultimate love you want to have. And it's the ultimate love of self and someone else, you know? So she comes in and almost brings this love in your life that's just like so magical and wonderful that it's like, oh my God, I have to blow up my world in order to have this love, you know? But it's the ultimate love. It's the true love. It's the divine love we were called to have, you know?
Wow. That sounds so hard. I feel like it's like a push-pull.
It is. But the thing is like once you understand it, it's like, and you become your whole self and walk into your power, then that it's like both the matrix and Lilith, you know, Adam and Lilith can't hold over you. Like you're in your total divine alignment and your total divine power, you know, that you don't have to depend on anybody besides the divine.
The divine will always have your back.
Yes, always.
So let me ask you this. This is interesting. And I'll just tell everyone here that Missy is in fact my astrology teacher. So she's my mentor. I've learned everything from her. So I'm actually trying to communicate to an audience, our listeners, some of the stuff she's passed on to me. So I'm just trying to be a little conduit right now. So would you say, Missy, that Lilith is the first and foremost thing you look at for twin flames? That's the number one where you go to?
I know as soon as someone tells me that they have a twin flame, I'm like, oh, let me look at your Lilith. You know what I mean? And everyone thinks like Pluto or the sun conjunct the moon. And I'm like, no. Lilith energy is like the most harshest energy you can have. Like it's obsessive, it's toxic, it's everything that just breaks your ego apart, right? Every jealousy, everything that you ever thought about love, everything comes out when you meet this person that has like your basically twin flame aspects, you know? Right. It's like every emotion that you hid forever comes out, and you feel like you can never date anyone ever again when you meet them, because it's just, this love is so profound. You're just like, oh, you know. And that's how the way it should be, ultimately. But ultimately, it's to find yourself. It's divine source of self. And once you find yourself, it's kind of like that energy goes away, where you're like, you're like, I really thought I was that obsessed, but then you get so into your business, you get so into everything else, that love starts to like dissipate. And you're not like thinking about it as much, like every minute of the day, like laying in your bed, like, oh my God, just energy sucks, that type of thing.
That's so on point. That was kind of, I'm relating everything you just said to my past relationship that I had with my ex, that I will never say his name again, but he pushed me to have my great awakening, and I do think he was my twin flame, I guess. I don't know. I think we mirrored each other a lot, and the toxicity was so bad. It was like things he would do were things that I would do, but it was so bad, and we just mirrored each other in the worst way. And then finally, I ended it with him. I moved on with my life, started my own business, and then I was like, I can actually do this by myself. I can do this. I'm a bad bitch. I got this. I don't need that. I don't need that toxicity. I can do it on my own. And I'm a new person since leaving that in my past. It is uncanny to me.
But it almost like birthed this person out of you that you didn't know you were, right? Where you're just like, a whole new world.
Yeah. It was like a whole new world. I was like, I didn't know I could be this person that I am today, because I didn't have like any sense of like self-worth when I was with him. I was consistently beaten down and mentally and all that, and it was very draining. And then finally I got to the point where I'm like, this is not healthy. I don't deserve this shit. I'm like, I'm out. Bye-bye. And I moved on, went on my merry way, and I fucking know he sees me stalking me in the background, behind the computer screen, like, oh, I can't believe she's doing this. I thought she'd never do this. And yes, I did, bitch. Good in you.
You helped me to align with my true purpose, bitch.
You helped me align to my true purpose, exactly, Missy. So thank you.
I was able to find my power. And that's what Lilith does, is she really has that divine feminine power, and she helps people even men find their divine feminine power of like, fuck, I never knew knew what love was, you know, and they were just so involved in like business and money and trade and all this stuff. And then they're like, oh my God, like I found someone I love, you know what I mean? And that happens for them too, you know? And then we kind of have that masculine energy of finding like our own self-worth, our own value, like who we really are, you know? We become that bad bitch that Lilith is, you know?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people too, like they can't handle it when we get to like when we're in our true power. A lot of people don't know how to handle it. Like I'm a completely different person than I was 2 years ago. Right. And I'm like, I have that you can't fuck with me attitude, legitimately. You can't fuck with me. And I think people see that. It's like, I'm a nice girl and everything, but it's like, don't come at me. I'll see the red flags like this. Whereas before I didn't.
Yeah. Like even if you want to break up with me, then there's the door.
Yeah, exactly. It's right there. You want me to kick it closed for you? Bye.
Exactly.
Bye.
I feel
a whole new world.
So what else?
How do you feel, Taylor, about all this?
I love it.
We're having like girl talk.
No, it's not girl talk. I talk to both of you so much that I'm on the inside of everything that's being said here, and I admire it. I've seen both of you. Well, I haven't known Missy as long as UBA, but I mean, I've seen a full transformation in you in the time that I've known you, and it's been exciting to see that. I've seen you grow into your power and just becoming like, as your sign says behind you, more badass just over the past year.
Badass.
You know, badass. I love it. We're all standing deeper in our truth and in our power here. And it's no, mistake that here we are on the podcast talking about all these things, because we're going through, simultaneous growth right now, just getting stronger, standing in our truth. I believe that is what reuniting with Source is all about. It's shining that light. And Missy, you talk about these in your lives every morning, and they're extremely inspirational, and your brand is growing because of it. So yeah, I don't know, Missy, just tell us a little more about everything that you're up to. Like, Maybe outside of just twin flames, but what other things do you find in astrology? What kind of spiritual truths or cultural circumstances do you find?
Ooh, we got some stuff to talk about. Well, first off, let's talk about this full moon today. I mean, we're
It's
gonna
a
have
harvest full moon, right?
Pisces, baby, full moon in Pisces. It's a strong one.
And this is not only a strong one, you guys, but today Mercury makes the exact conjunction it did back in January when we had our elections in the United States, and it's squaring over to Pluto, which is exposing like the government and everything right now. And so we're totally experiencing that. Did your dog bark?
Bring my dog into this because
Hi, doggy.
Oh,
who's
it's rocking. Okay, so Missy, go back to the election here.
So we have Mercury that's in Libra, which is about trying to find that balance, right? But we have Pluto, which is squaring over to Pluto, and Pluto's in Capricorn, about breaking up the government system, uncovering all that stuff. And so we may see the government censoring things this whole week. They may hide things that's coming out. There might be stuff that's trying to be exposed with Mercury, and the government's like trying to hide it with this square, like trying to like push it back and try to censor it. So we might have more censorship that comes out this week. We also have Venus that's opposing Uranus this week, which we've already seen. I've already heard of some breakups that are already happening this week. I don't know.
Just to tell people, Venus is a planet of love and connection, relationships, and all that.
Right.
And then Uranus is abrupt change
Right.
out of nowhere. So when she says Venus is opposing Uranus, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
means abrupt change meets like love and romance. You
Yeah.
can see where the breakups begin to happen.
Right. And like I said in my live today, it's like Venus came into Libra, like just skipping and so happy because she came out of her sign. And then she comes into like Scorpio and she's looking around the house going, what the fuck? This house is so dirty. What is all this shit? And she's like jealous because she sees some girl's sock on, like dirty underwear on the couch. And like she sees some like email from a girlfriend. And she's like, where am I? I just came into like Pluto's hell. And so like Uranus is, and she's looking up at Uranus and Taurus and going, what the hell? And Uranus is like, fuck that shit. Let's go and like have some fun. And he's like, let's go spend some money. Let's go do something fun, And so be careful if you're spending. Just saying, because Uranus is like fucking, just saying, hey, break that shit up. Let's go spend some money. Leave Scorpio.
So should I not get my Botox this week? I'm supposed to get my Botox on Wednesday.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm just being funny. No,
well,
I'm not
if it's a medical necessity, I mean, you must.
It's very medical. That's the only needle I'll put in my body. Okay. Right.
I won't put the jab.
I'll take the Botox poison. That's the only poison I'll put in my body. Okay. Okay.
It's the only poison that makes me look beautiful.
Exactly. I won't turn into a zombie. My
Okay.
dog's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Dude,
He's like going in and out of my backdrop.
Yeah. He is so cute.
I love it. We had the full moon, which is like about happening right now, and it's in Pisces, and it's about letting go. We have the sun in Virgo, which is very analytical, wanting to put things together and stuff like that. And the sun in Pisces is like, let go, be free, like, peace, love, and harmony. And Virgo's like, but how can we put that shit together? And Pisces is like, I don't know, quit being so like up your, like Virgo-ish, It's like imagine like going floating with a Virgo. Like I imagine like when I see like a sun in Virgo and a sun in Pisces like going out together, and the sun in Pisces like, let's go float down the river. The Virgo's like, I think we need a rope, or like maybe we need like lots of water. What if we get stuck? And
Right.
Pisces is like, come on, Virgo, like stop being such a planner.
Yeah.
I feel like Virgos are very boring.
Virgos are service people, like they're humanitarians, like they came back to service others.
I hate to be mean. I should take that back because my lawyer is a Virgo and he's a bad bitch and he's sexy as fuck. But
Your lawyer?
I just for the most part I think what, Taylor? Most Virgos I meet are just like boring to me. It's just how my interpretation, it's my opinion, and I don't take it back.
Well,
I'm not
more
gonna...
Scorpio. that because they're not sexual enough for us.
I know. I could go into detail, but I know that. God, I have to censor my mouth sometimes.
You won't find me defending Virgos. My ex-wife is a Virgo, so I agree.
She's an articulate Virgo.
Not my ex.
Not my ex.
Not my ex. Yeah. So what else, Missy? Tell us some. What are some interesting types of people that reach out to you? Because let's face it, in the spiritual industry, we're not exactly dealing with Type A personalities here.
Yeah, we're not dealing with Virgos.
Yes.
Very emotional people, very artistic people I talk to, you know, people that are going through a lot, wanting to know about their Chiron. I'm dealing with a lot of people right now that are having Chiron returns. And a Chiron return is when Chiron is going all the way around your chart and it's returning to the exact same position when you're born. And so they're having to deal with all their old like Chiron wounds and everything like that. And so I'm seeing that a lot lately. So all my 1970 babies have really been reaching out to me.
How many years does the Chiron return take?
Oh God, like I think it's like 50
yeah.
years.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like twice a century kind of a thing.
Right. And it's not like the best time for like a woman to go through like a Chiron return when she's like having like premenopause, you know, like
God,
you know, like what the fuck is wrong with me? And it's just like, you're having your Chiron return. It's not premenopause.
And for everybody out there who is wondering, like all these things we're talking about, Lilith and Chiron, in modern astrology, we use a lot of asteroids. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's like a new discovery. Chiron was probably discovered only in the, I want to guess, past 30 years, past 50 years. In classical astrology, you just had the 7 planets that everybody has heard about, the sun, the moon, the Mercury, Venus, blah, blah, blah. Then later on in astrology, they discovered all these asteroids that are like, have a profound influence on our lives just through the energetic force that they're basically transmitting to us.
Right.
So what exactly does Chiron mean so people out there understand what a Chiron return is?
So Chiron is like our deepest wounds that we were given as a child. And so I'd also say, like, I almost see it as like the umbilical cord to the divine. And so what happened was, as children, it's like that umbilical cord was clipped. And so it's the love that we never got as a child. So it's almost like a feeling of like divine love. And so it's like where we were most wounded as a child. So where it falls in your chart. So right now, like we can see on a global scale, we have Chiron and Aries, which is about the appearance, right? And so right now what's happening is we're having to cover up our mask with our, mask. And so we can't talk. So that's Chiron and Aries. And then also we're getting the shot that's wounding the body, right? That's also Chiron and Aries. It's like also we're not feeling heard, which is Chiron and Aries, where you don't feel heard, you don't feel seen. You sometimes might have something that happened to your body if it's the first house. Like you could have, like me, I have a scar, right? So you might have a lot of scars on your body and stuff like that. That's like a Chiron wound, or scar on your face. They also could have a scar on their face. Those are like different Chiron stuff that I see. So yeah, but it's just the wound that we can't heal. And so we find people that we can heal them because ultimately it heals us, right? That's what Chiron does. So we look for other people to heal, and then it ultimately like heals us, and so that's why sometimes it's like a magnet that attracts people to each other, because that person wants that healing, and then the other person is like, and if I can heal you, I can heal me. But then they wound each other when they're not like completely progressed in in healing themselves,
Yeah.
I feel like I consistently attract people that need healing, to be honest with you. I feel like that's almost my job in life. I attract people that need help in their life or they need healing, and I feel like I can heal them. So I attract naturally those type of people.
Yeah, I think your Chiron for you, darling, is in Gemini. And so like you didn't feel heard as a child, and so that makes sense because communication is one of the biggest ways in which forms of communication that we use, right?
Yeah.
But
Let me
look
see.
that's a really interesting thing. If BA's Chiron is in Gemini and she didn't feel heard, and she's talking about the kind of people she has attracted into her life, BA, you've
Right.
attracted me into your life, and now we've created a platform for you to be heard. So there are some answers that, you know, there is healing that you are drawing in your direction.
Absolutely. I feel I'm starting to feel more healed in that sense by doing this podcast and being able to talk.
Use your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a strong voice. It's a charismatic voice.
It's strong.
Yeah.
Say something.
I have
Say
a
something
lot
really
that I
inspirational.
could say. What?
Say something inspirational on the spot.
I have a lot I could say. It's not going to be inspirational. It's going to be, I have more like shit I would like to call people on, but I mean, I'll calm down. I'm currently giving my dog like a massage right now.
Oh, I thought like massaging your leg.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't
No,
want to
no,
say
no.
what I thought. Hello.
No, it's like going with the backdrop. It's okay.
Oh, look how cute. Hi, buddy.
Yeah, so my Chiron is in Taurus. I forget which house it's in. I think it's in my 8th house, to be honest with you, which is really interesting because that would involve my self-worth, my body, my possessions, and also my death,
Money.
rebirth, money. Oh my God, yeah. But
And
I've
you
had a lot-
always feel like there's a lack of money, a lack of finances, or a lack of your self-worth, a lack of some people, I've seen it with sexual trauma, like I told you about, but it's like you're
Yeah.
always scared like the bottom's gonna fall out, you know, like something bad's gonna happen.
exactly, and that is very. What's that?
The loss, it's also considered the loss aspect as well, of like losing someone in your family that you loved,
Yeah.
you know.
For sure. And
Yeah.
there has a lot of that Chiron energy in both Taurus and in the 8th house has materialized in my life. But I also feel that I have reached a point, like we're talking about with BA, now having a platform for her voice and all that, where I'm starting to actually heal from those wounds, to rise into, you know, my power and get past those traumas from my past that have really hindered my life and just really, you know, damaged my well-being.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And you've grown.
Yeah, it's painful and it sucks, but like, you know, the first step to growing is facing the darkest things inside of you that you've always been afraid to face.
Exactly. So let's talk about what's the darkest thing you've had to face
In my life, one of the darkest things I had to face was dealing with my autoimmune disease, actually facing death. And now a lot of people be like, oh, I can see that because death is scary. I don't give a fuck about dying. I'm not afraid of death at all. It sounds peaceful. Get me out of here. What I'm afraid of is having wasted this life accomplishing goddamn nothing, having no legacy to speak of, you know, never living in my full potential.
Like I left my legacy, my Leo legacy.
Oh my God, Leo, and my Leo North node in the 10th house. You know what I mean? If that wasn't enough, just being a Leo as it is, but it's like, I came here for a divine purpose. And when I felt like 2 years ago, I was just going to die in some lame ass hospital bed, having never accomplished any of that, I was having a complete midlife crisis or a close to death crisis, because I'm like, it can't end this way. You know,
right.
It doesn't end this way for fucking me. It ends this way for other people who never, you know, never stepped into their power, never stepped into their potential. And all of that, and all that time, I got all these divine downloads about how to step into my power, so it doesn't end then at that point, having accomplished very little.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was my fear. Just,
wait.
Yeah. How about you, BA? What's your greatest, darkest fear? We kind of covered Missy with the window incident, me with the hospitalization, and you're sitting there all quiet.
No, I have a story. No, I definitely have a story. This happened, I would say about 8 years ago. So yeah, about 8 years ago. So I was in another relationship, but I was into the fast life, fast boats, fast everything portion of Beth Ann's life. And I was in a big, fast power boat that went like 200 plus miles per hour. And I was in Key West. I was in I was there with my cousin Ashley, and we went like over a swell in the water during this big boat race. So the boat, like the front of it dipped down and like went back up, and then the back of the boat hit me in the ass pretty much, and I flew up in the air.
No way.
Yeah, it was an outer limits power boat. So like these, you don't strap in, you hold on when you're in the back. So I essentially thought I was gonna die. Like I flew up in the air and slammed back down, like in the middle of the ocean, going 180 miles per hour in this boat race. My cousin was fine, and I like flew up in the air, slammed back down, and I was like, oh my god, I thought I broke my leg. I couldn't feel my back. I was like, what's going on here? And then I found out I like moved fast forward. I had like a football player from the other team, whatever, like that had another boat, like carry me out of the boat I was in to shore. Went to the hospital. I cracked my L3 vertebrae. I was in and out of like the hospital for a year trying to figure out what was wrong with my back, and still to this day, like I still have back problems. It's just been one of those things. It's like, okay, like I was consistently just going fast. My whole life was just like fast. Like, you know, party, fast boats, fast life, all this stuff. And then I slowed down significantly after that. It just taught me like to kind of like stay in the moment more. I was just always looking for something crazy to do. And that was my life, dating that certain person I was with. So yeah. Hopefully that made sense.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you're okay and nothing really bad happened. Oh my god.
Yeah. That's why like you'll see me sometimes like in this podcast, I crack my neck like this. Like I'm not doing it because like I'm like, oh, it's so hot, I'm gonna crack my neck. No, it's like my fucking neck hurts and my back hurts.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's been a like I look back on that and it's like it could have been worse.
Right.
I could have really died. I know plenty of people that have died in the powerboat industry by going in these fast boats, and I made it out and I'm here. So like Taylor said, what he went through, now he wants to build his legacy. Well, here we all are. So
right. I love it. I love it. It made you a better person too.
Yeah.
Right. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Absolutely.
it.
All right. Well, Missy, why don't you we'll wrap it up. Tell everybody how to get in touch with you, how to book appointments. You're on Instagram. Tell us everything.
YouTube that you helped me start. So yeah, just DM me at Missy's Astrology. It's MISSYS Astrology on YouTube, on Instagram and YouTube, and you can book an appointment.
Nice.
To have a reading done, a natal chart synastry, which is 2 charts of a couple reading. I do Chiron readings to know your deepest wounds. I also help you find your life purpose, life path, all of that. So reach out to me.
And I will attest to the fact, I think BA will too, that Missy is so good at this stuff. She may be my teacher, but I'm also a client too. So definitely book Missy.
She's an earth angel, Taylor. She's an earth angel.
Earth angel,
Yeah.
earth angel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will you be mine?
Love it.
I swear, I got SGM to like everything.
I love it. We all need to hang out. Like we all finally need to meet. Like I know you guys have met each other. Like I need to meet you both.
October.
Yes, October. October, I'm planning on coming to LA. So
Woo woo!
we
Yay!
will-
Let me know when.
we gotta all coordinate with our Halloween costumes.
Oh my God.
For sure.
Oh my God.
Something very
So
Lilith-like.
Lilith.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop it here. Hang tight. All right. Goodbye, everybody.